If I had to pick a total here, I would lean under, but staying away from that, just going to play a spread. I'm going to take the Patriots at -1.5. If Bill Belichick's time in New England is actually done, I think the team's going to find a way to send him out a winner. The Jets defense has been the biggest appeal of betting on New York this season, but they continue to get worse, and they're allowing teams to convert their yards into points at a very efficient rate. New York's 27th in bendability, according to coldhardfootballfacts.com. The Patriots offense isn't that good, but they've looked better with Bailey Zappi. And the way New York is holding up, especially in the red zone, you might want to lean towards the Patriots this week. Zappi was horrendous last week, but I think we can respect the fact that the Patriots are actually taking chances and throwing the ball down the field with him a little more compared to Mac Jones. New York doesn't have a quarterback who is capable with Trevor Siemian or Brett Ripe, and no matter who is on the field, these guys will have a tough time against Patriots defense. Patriots offense hasn't been great, but the defense has been solid all season long. So two solid defenses in this spot. It's going to come down to which offense you trust more. And for me, that has to be the Patriots in the game that should be decided by very few points. I'm going to trust the home team with the slightly better offense, playing with a lot more momentum, and playing better than they have all season long on that side of the ball. So I'm going to take the Bears plus the 3 points here against the Packers. The Packers must win, as you said, to clinch that 6 or 7 seed and make the playoffs. Jordan Love has blossomed this season. It's been a very productive year for him, and I think there's a lot to look forward to there. Solid quarterback, potentially the franchise centerpiece for years to come. But they have a hungry Bears team that might not be in the playoff picture, but is playing for a lot right now. They have a very good defense coming to Lambeau Field in a spoiler role. And the biggest person I want to look at in this game has to be Justin Fields. His time in Chicago could be minimal. It might not be a lot left there. But he is playing for a job, whether it's with the Bears or another football team in the NFL. He was receiving standing ovations against the Falcons last week, throwing for 270 yards, counting for over 300 with 2 touchdowns. Fields is playing for a job. And the Bears do have elite wide receiver talent as well, especially with guys like DJ Moore. Packers haven't been good on defense all season. They're 32nd in total team yards allowed, according to coldhardfootballfacts.com. 26 in defensive passer rating. So I think we're going to see areas where the Bears can actually win vertically down the field with guys like DJ Moore. 19th in defensive rusher rating. If the Packers can hold on to the ball, they have a great chance of winning outright. The Bears can hold in football. They have a great chance of winning outright in this game. The Packers won 38-20 in week 1 over the Bears, but Fields is still playing well right now. He's getting better and better. The defense has improved. So look for a statement by Chicago coming into this football game. Fields plays for his future. I think that almost means just as much as the Packers playing for a playoff spot. Totally agree with that. If the Buccaneers do lose this game, it would be a travesty, right? They need to come in, find a way to win, and I think they're going to do it and cover in this one. They were blown out by the Saints at home last week, but they still control their own destiny. If Tampa Bay wins, they take the NFC South, and they'll likely host Philadelphia in the first round of the playoffs. We can talk about Philadelphia's collapse another time, but I think that's a very good matchup for Tampa Bay at home. And you never know what you're going to get with this Buccaneers team, but they do have a huge advantage on paper over the Panthers at least. Bryce Young has not figured it out after throwing for 312 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Jaguars. Showed up with 19 of 32 with a pick, or last week was 19 of 32 with a pick and 26-0 loss to the Jaguars. It's just not him, though. Carolina's offense hasn't been great. They don't have a great offensive line. They're limited weapons that he can target vertically down the field. The Buccaneers have a defense that can stop Carolina. They rank 4th in bendability from coldhardfootballfacts.com. They force teams to work for their points, and that's the biggest thing with them. They're going to make teams earn it, especially in the red zone. They bend, but don't break. On offense, the biggest key for them in this one, got to be Rachaad White. They need to establish the ground game early, and they have the team to do it against the Carolina Panthers rush defense that is 31st in defensive rusher rating and not playing for much this week. I think the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield story, every storyline favors them in this one. In Carolina, these players have seemed to give up, and Bryce Young is going to be there for years to come. We know that, but he needs more talent around him. He can't do anything until he gets that talent. So I don't really see the spoiler role narrative playing into this one. I think the Bucs come in, take care of business, cover the 4.5. And if they weren't to cover the 4.5, I still think they find a way to win this football game. Hey, give me the Cowboys first half team total over 14.5 points. Commanders, one of the worst first half defenses in the NFL. They're one of the worst defenses in the NFL in general. And I think we're going to see an inspired effort from the Cowboys here. They were handed a division title, basically, assuming they could win this week against the Commanders as a 13-point favorite. The Eagles couldn't beat the Cardinals last week. The refs blew a call in the Cowboys versus Lions game. So it's the perfect storm for Dallas right now. And if they blow this, I would be very surprised. The offense should dominate the Commanders. Washington, again, allows the most points in the NFL, nearly 16 in the first half. They're the worst team in the NFL in defensive passer rating. Dak Prescott should have plenty of chances to take shots down the field, as we saw in the team's 45-10 rout of Washington in Dallas earlier in the season. Prescott threw for 331 yards, 4 touchdowns in the first meeting. They also scored 20 points in the first half. Again, this is on the road in a cold weather game, which is kind of concerning there. That's the one reason to maybe fade the Cowboys if you are thinking of that. But I still think they come out inspired effort this week with a chance to win the division and get a high seed in the playoffs.